Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show, the one and only show that brings you ordinary people sharing extraordinary insights. Well, maybe. Here is your host, Chew Effin Lee.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chew. Welcome to podcast episode number 3. Today is December 22nd, 2014. Before I start tonight's show, I want to share something with you guys that was a little bit creepy. I'm not totally scared, but I think it's worth listening to and worth sharing. So before I started my recording, I was testing out my equipment, making sure everything and the levels were all, where they're supposed to be. And as I was doing this, and I had my headphones on, I heard a dog kind of squeal. Yeah, a dog. And imagine this, you guys have probably all heard of this noise before, where somebody or yourself, you accidentally step on a dog's foot and then the dog squeals in pain. Well, that's what I heard. And the strange thing is, I didn't have any TV. I didn't have the TV on. I didn't have my radio on. The phone was, I don't have a dog sound for my ringtone for my phone. And that noise came right directly into the microphone that you guys are listening to me, and that I'm talking into right now. So at first I thought, did I leave the TV on, or did I have the volume up? And of course it wasn't. So I didn't know how to explain that, because a couple of things. The noise, the dog's squeal, went right into the microphone. I thought I had the microphone, or not the microphone, but the software recording as I was testing out my levels, but it wasn't recording. So, damn it. I lost that opportunity to record and document that noise. But yeah, that was kind of strange. I also want to share another dog story experience. A few years ago, I was in my room, just laying on the bed ready to take a nap, and at one point I felt the presence of some kind of animal that was walking around me, and it was sniffing, just like a dog as well. And I can feel the wind of the dog as it was walking by my body, circling my body. And then at one point, the dog actually came towards my back and laid against my back and kind of snuggled with me. So if you guys are, you might be asking, how did you even tell that it was the dog's hair that was brushed against you? Well, this may not be a pretty visual for a lot of you guys, but when I'm at home and I'm ready to sleep or take a nap, I'm shirtless. So I was able to feel the impression, the physical impression against my back, and feel the hair brush against my back. And when I felt that, I was like, wait a minute, we don't have a dog in the house. So I woke up right away, looked around, and I didn't see anything. So that was strange. Now, there might be a dog connection with me, and I'll tell you guys why. When I was in my early 20s, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, she bought me a miniature pinscher. It was a tan miniature pinscher. And I raised that dog from maybe, I think, 8 weeks old all the way till its death. I think it was 2 years old when it died. I loved that dog a lot. Her name was Minnie. So maybe there might be that connection. Maybe Minnie's spirit was coming around me at the time when I was laying on the bed, or maybe it was Minnie just a few minutes ago. I don't know, but that was a strange way to start the show, for sure. So thought I'd share that with you guys. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Tonight I'm going to be talking about not taking things for granted, being appreciative, and know that you are blessed. These three principles, they connect with each other, relate with each other, they kind of intertwine with each other. So why is this important in your spiritual development? This is very important because your guides, and this applies to what shamans and just quote unquote psychics, okay? Spiritually gifted people. So when you show that you are grateful for what you have, and you show that you appreciate what you have, and you truly believe that you are blessed to have what you have, that shows the spirit realm and your guides that you are a person who knows how to be grateful, who knows how to appreciate things, and who knows that they're blessed, which can also mean you acknowledge that you have guides watching over you. So why is this important? Just think about it, how you may have people around you, when they show you appreciation, or they show you that they're very grateful to have you in their life, doesn't it make you want to be there more for them? I would imagine a lot of you guys are kind of agreeing with me, saying yes. So that concept applies to our guides as well. Now, some folks I've seen who, actually there's a lot of them, who are ungrateful people. And as I'm saying this, you might be able to think of a few right away. You know, ungrateful people, people who don't appreciate stuff that they have, and who are always blaming others and don't believe in being blessed. You know, they look at their blessings as, you know, it's a curse. How can this be a blessing? It's a curse. My life is so, you know, fucked up here, and I don't see how this is being, how I'm being blessed. Well, depends how you look at the situation. Now, again, when you show, you know, your guides that you're grateful for what you have, and this could be beyond your guide as well, or your guides. It could be a higher power that you believe in. So in my situation, God. I'm grateful for all the stuff that I have, and it took me, I had to go through something that was very, very difficult for me to really understand and appreciate this concept. And I'll get into that in a little bit here, but I'm very grateful for what I have. You know, I used to be a person who envied what others had. And to be honest with you guys, you know, I still get into those kind of situations where I still envy a little bit of people here and there. But that, you know, the envious part of me has decreased significantly. I've learned to just say, you know what, they have what they have because they're supposed to have it. I have what I have because this is what I'm supposed to have, and I need to be grateful for that. You know, the simplest things that we have in our possession, we take it for granted. So, for example, all of you listening to me right now, you have internet connection. Think about how other countries don't have that luxury. I mean, the internet is like a gateway to so many things. You know, it can help you get jobs. It can help you find knowledge, wisdom, information. And we have the internet as a way to get what we want. I mean, think about a long time ago when there was not the internet yet. You know, we had to send for information. We had to go to the libraries and check out books, read books for information. Now we have the internet at the tip of our fingers. You know, that's something that we all should be grateful for. There are people out there in third world countries who don't have internet connection. And to us, imagine, this happened to me before, where first, I can't remember what the reason was, but I didn't have internet connection for a couple of days. I think it was because we were switching service providers at that time. And, you know, at that time, the phone internet capabilities weren't as good as it was today. So internet was completely shut off for a couple of days. And I almost went crazy, you know, because that was my gateway to information. And when we think about people in third world countries, for us, we're thinking, oh, like for me, crap, I don't have the internet. Well, some people don't have food. I have a roof over my head, and I'll admit and own to this. Sometimes I take that for granted. Instead of appreciating, I have a roof over my head, over my wife and my kids' heads, but I want a bigger house. Things like that. But the real value in learning to be grateful is, look, other people are less fortunate who don't have a roof over their heads. For example, homeless people. I mean, we don't even think about this because we are, I guess, privileged in a way. Most of us are, where we have a roof overhead. But if you think about homeless people, what kind of life is it to not know where you're going to sleep for tonight? Or imagine when you wake up and you have to plan out, where am I going to sleep later? Or where am I going to sleep tomorrow? If I get a place tonight, how long is that going to last me? How many nights can I sleep there if I can find that place? I mean, these are simple things that we tend to take for granted. And how that connects to spiritual abilities, spiritual gifts, is if you have the ability to sense, feel, you're an empath, be grateful that you have that ability. Because when you show that you are grateful and you appreciate that gift, you will be blessed with more gifts. And if it's not more gifts as in the ability to see, the ability to hear or smell, and you just have that empath gift. Well, if you show that you are grateful and you appreciate, maybe that empath gift can expand and you can feel things in more detail. When people say they see, when gifted people talk about how they can see things, they can see things. They can see into the spiritual world. They can see spirits. But there's many different levels of being able to see. Sometimes we can be shown a very quick vision or image, but it's so quick that we don't see the details. But then there are those who are at a higher level of being able to see, and they can see the most minute detail of that vision. So how you raise or increase your abilities is you have to be grateful for what you currently have. It's easy, and I'm even guilty of it at times, where first of all, I want to apologize for that phone. It's across the room, and I don't want to just say, hey, wait a minute, let me go turn that off, because I'm going to lose my train of thoughts, because I'm about to lose my train of thoughts right now. So let's forget about it. Sorry. Anyway, show that you are grateful for what you currently have, and your guides and your higher source will provide you with more gifts, or heighten your current gift. And again, as I was saying earlier, I'm guilty of saying, oh man, I wish I could see as detailed as that person sees. We can't. Another thing is, be careful for what you ask for as well. You don't want to say, I want to be a very spiritually gifted person, and then your wish is granted, or your desires are granted, and then you realize, man, I didn't want to see this many dead people, or I didn't know they looked like that. Now you can't sleep. Now you're going to have nightmares. Now you're afraid to sleep. So your guides are your guides, and your higher source have given you your current gifts because the timing is right. Okay? It is what you're supposed to have at this time. You are at the level where you are because there's a reason behind it. And again, it's easy to take that for granted. In other words, it's easy to not be grateful for it, because when we hear stories about other gifted people, what they can do that we can't do, sometimes it's our ego saying, man, I can do that too. Why can't I do it? I want to do it so people can see me as a very powerful or very gifted person. Well, at that point, it's your ego talking, and that's not good for anyone. Okay, so be grateful for what you currently have, and learn to appreciate it. Being grateful and learning to appreciate stuff is basically the same thing, but it's a little bit different. But appreciate what you have. Not a lot of people have the gift that you currently have. So appreciate it. Appreciate that you have been chosen, or that you have decided to wake up spiritually, to sense things, to see things, to know things. Appreciate it. And I am positive that more gifts will come your way. And if it's not more gifts or diverse gifts, then your current gift will be raised to another level. And you will be doing a lot of greater things once you have reached the next level of your current gift. So don't be so, what's the word? Don't be so envious of others. Try not to be. And this is easier said than done, of course, because like I said to you, still every now and then when I hear about other people doing what they do, I wish I can do that as well. But then again, I'm able to kind of calm down and say things are the way they are because that's how it's supposed to be right now for me, and I need to be okay with that. So now I want to share a personal story with you guys on how I learned how to be grateful, appreciate stuff, and know that I'm blessed. So a couple of years ago, in 2012, this is like right around when I created this page for us. And I think right after, just a few months after, I got really sick. It wasn't to the point where I was going to die, but I have gout, makatavu. Okay, I had that, and then I also had like back spasms, and they were really, really bad. It was to the point where my bed became my hospital bed. I mean, I didn't have a nurse come out and check me out, but I was bedridden. I couldn't get up. I couldn't walk around the house. It was just so painful. And I questioned even my faith at the time. I'm like, why? I believe in you, God, so much. Why is this happening to me? Heal me. You have the power to heal me. You use me to heal people. I ask that you use that power to heal me. And this illness that I had went on for almost the entire year. I mean, I got to know my ceiling very well because I was laid up and that's all I saw every day. And I felt bad because my kids were, they were still little at the time, but they didn't really understand what was going on with Daddy. But all they remembered was Daddy's always, in bed. And when he tries to get up, his face looks very funky because he's squinting or making these painful facial expressions. But I felt like there was a loss there because I couldn't really physically be there for my kids, and it was a horrible experience for me. And as I got sick for such a long time, months and months went by. Of course, I couldn't work at that time, so we were all dependent on my wife's income, and that was also very tough. And so, I had to meditate and just really ask every day, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Now, before I continue, I'm going to share a story before I got sick, what my life was like. Well, before that, I was a person who didn't know how to be grateful, who didn't appreciate what I currently have. And although I knew I was blessed, it wasn't really a deep feeling and a deep acceptance of being blessed. And that earlier that year, I made a lot of money. I have another side gig that I do that generated a lot of income. I mean, basically, to kind of give you an idea, in about 2 weeks, I made almost $25,000 cash. This is nothing illegal, by the way, okay? But that's the kind of money I was making and enjoying, and I was using money like there was no end, because I knew that if I don't have this anymore, or if I use it today, there's more money to be made. Don't worry about it. Spend. And I started to be a little bit flashy. I started to buy a lot of flashy clothes, bought things for my car, bought jewelry. And as I bought these things, my mentality and my attitude was very negative. I didn't appreciate anything that I got, because if it broke, my mentality was, who cares? We'll go get another one, or we'll go buy another one. So that's how my life was kind of like before I got sick. Okay, I wasn't really aware of what being grateful meant. And so when I got sick, and again, fast forward to a few months into my illness, I kept asking, what is going on? Why is this happening to me? I'm not really that bad of a person. Why me? Why me? So I was kind of being a little a wuss, if you want to call it that. So one day, and I can't even remember which day it was when I was ill, but it really hit me hard to say, here's why you're sick. We need to slow you down. Because if we don't slow you down, you're headed for self-destruction. You're going to behave in ways that it's going to ruin your family. It's going to ruin you. So we're not going to kill you, or we're not going to let you die, but we need to help you understand those 3 concepts. And here's how we're going to do it. Here's the only way we can figure out the best way to do it for you. And that is to keep you home, slow you down physically, so you can have time to think about how you can change. And so then I started to really think about what I currently have. Even though I was sick, I couldn't get up and do anything, I still had a house over my head. We still had transportation, cars, 2 cars. We still had food on our table. My wife still had a job. It was very difficult for her, but she still had the job to keep us going. So I had to think about that, and I realized, wow, I have these things, but there's people out there who are not ill, and they don't have any of what I just, mentioned. So I had to really learn, this is my time to understand how important it is for me and my spiritual growth and my spiritual path to learn to be grateful. And then, of course, to appreciate what I have and not be so envious of what others had. Of course, for me, when I was ill, I envied a lot of healthy people around me. Then I started to get the information. Okay, so you are ill. That person, the person you're thinking about who's not ill, who's healthy, what are they doing to their bodies? A lot of them are drinking, doing drugs. But you're ill, and you can't do any of that. So you need to learn to appreciate that you, even though you're ill, when you're not ill no more, you cannot delve into those type of activities. So now I think about when I see even my brothers and close people to me when they are very healthy and in their prime, they engage in these activities that they're basically putting poison in their body. So I had to learn, appreciate what you have, man. Appreciate that you have, even though you can't get up and walk around, you're not putting any toxic things into your body. We need to slow you down. Now, before I got ill, I was never a drinker, an alcohol drinker. Doing drugs, I don't know if you guys consider marijuana drugs, but yeah, I did a little bit of that, but it wasn't anything chronic, I would not experience, but I would smoke pot here and there, but it wasn't anything to the degree where you guys would consider me as a pothead. But anyway, so after I thought about being grateful for what I have and appreciate the things I have, the next step for me was, do I see how blessed I am? And I started thinking about that a lot, and I am blessed. I am blessed. And I don't say this, and please don't get me wrong, I don't say this to come off as, haha, I'm blessed and you're not. No, not at all, okay? That's not my intentions. But anyway, I realized how blessed I was. I'm ill. My wife has been very loyal and faithful to me. She could have done what a lot of elders would suspect, which is, look, you're sick, so your wife is not going to want to be with a sick person. She's going to go cheat on you. She's going to find a healthier person to be with. She didn't do that. She was there for me. She cared for me. She took care of me the best that she could. And I put her through hell because I was ill, and she had 3 big babies to take care of, me being the biggest baby of all, then my 2 kids. And she was able to, I don't know where she got her strength, but, God bless her. She did it. So I was blessed enough to have a partner who was there for me. And then, I was blessed to have my kids who were they were small, but they knew that their dad was ill, and they volunteered to help. Daddy, can I go get this for you? Daddy, you just stay there. I'll go grab that for you. So, that was very nice and sweet of them, and very loving of them to do it. Then I started thinking about other kids who don't listen very well to their mom and dads. So I was very blessed to have kids who cared and loved me very, very much. And then, of course, thinking about, and then I may have mentioned this to you guys before, but I have a house over my head during this time of being ill. How blessed am I? There's people out there who's not ill but don't have a house to go to. So yeah, this whole awakening that I had really helped me become spiritually stronger. And as I was getting better and recovering and getting a lot healthier, I felt this strong feeling inside of my heart saying, once you're healthy again, you're going to be you're going to be a lot stronger than you used to be spiritually. And that's how things played out. And I also knew that, you didn't have a job for almost a year because you were ill. Once you've understood, accepted this concept, these concepts of being grateful, appreciating, and also know that you're blessed, you're going to be in a better financial situation than you've ever been in. And that has come to fruition. So, you guys, I can't stress it enough. It's as simple as these 3 things sound. Being grateful, being appreciative, and knowing that you're blessed. These are so simple, but we make it so difficult. We take all of this for granted. And I would challenge you guys, no matter what your faith is and what your beliefs are, take some time to really meditate or think about and reflect on being grateful for what you have. And you can connect this to your spiritual abilities at this point, or anything in life, in general. Be grateful for what you have, and be very appreciative that you have what you have. And at the same time, know that you are blessed in such a huge way. Your guides, your faith, and your higher source. They are sending so many blessings to you, but maybe you're not receiving them because you're refusing to see them. That might be something that you can think about as well. As much as they're throwing things in front of you, you're refusing to see it because you wanted something different. You wanted a different material thing. And one good example I'd like to use for this is, for me, and a lot of you guys out there who are where you're at right now as far as the careers, when you think about your current salary, and let's just say that tomorrow you got laid off and you were making, let's say, $20 an hour, at your current job before you got laid off. And then, you find a job that's going to pay you $8 an hour. And then what do? Of course, you're going to say, nah. $8 an hour? No way. But really, the truth and the situation says, look, it doesn't matter if it's $8 or $10, man. You need a job, and maybe you've been praying for a job, but and your guides and your higher source gave that opportunity to you, and then you took it for granted. It was something that your ego and your pride I said, no, I mean, you're way better than that. But, again, the reality is you're about to get laid off or you're about to get fired, and you need this job that we're throwing at you. So you're blessed all the time. It's just most of us, we refuse to see and to accept the blessings. All right, so that's what I wanted to cover today, folks. I don't think I mentioned this to you guys earlier, but I know that the holidays are coming up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to I don't know if I said this. Maybe I'm repeating myself, or is it because I had to do a couple of test runs for this show tonight? But anyway, the holidays are coming up. Stay tuned for a free gift, and that gift is going to be a show about how to connect with your guides. Okay, and it's going to be very fun. I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy it. This is for anybody who wants to dig into their spiritual awakening or spiritual path, whether you're a shaman or not, it doesn't matter. I think you can use some of these lessons that I'm going to share with you and be able to connect a lot better with your guides. Okay, so tonight's message, the 3 things. What are they? Be grateful, be appreciative, and know that you are blessed. Because when your spirit guides and your higher power or higher source sees that you understand these 3 things, good things will come your way, for sure. All right, folks. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for the 2 more shows that I'm going to do for this week. I think I'm going to do one tomorrow with a couple of friends, and then the 3rd one, it might just be a solo show. The 3rd one is going to be about that lesson of how to connect with your guides. Okay? All right, folks. Have a good night. Blessings to all of you. Bye.